even if you lose at a hackathon, you will not come out of there with something. It might not be materialistic, but there's always something. I know there's one solution that I did in one of my hackathons, and there's an entire health company that's implementing it. Be more open to employing people with informal education because they might be way more skilled. Stop saying you need 5 years experience for entry-level jobs, because then they're not entry-level jobs.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to ITWeb TV. Today we have an exciting episode with a very special guest that I'm going to let her do the introduction because she's so impressive. Precious, welcome to ITWeb TV.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'm Precious, and I'm a journalism graduate. I always put this disclaimer. I do not have an IT degree at all. We might have it soon, but I honestly don't. I have a journalism degree. And I started getting into coding because I was pissed at a game.
Really?
Yeah. So I played Need for Speed a lot, right? And it's so patriarchal because the person in the car all the time is a white man.
Yeah. And
you know, was the person that counts down the race, or like that sexy lady and whatnot. And I'm like, but I want to swap these two people. Oh. So how do I do that? And then I went to YouTube, went down a deep, dark rabbit hole of coding and game development and GitHub. And that's where it all started. Yeah, basically.
So you went from studying journalism. I know we both went to the same university.
Yeah.
Studying journalism and now into tech, which is the up-and-coming industry, especially here in SA.
Yeah.
In terms of that transition, has it been easy, or do you think there is a big disconnect between those two industries?
So one of the things that I do now is I own a company called Queers Code, right? Mm-hmm. And what we do there is really just focus on inclusive technology. Mm-hmm. So yes, you have a great app, you have a great website, you have a great software. Yeah. But can the minority groups of the country use it? Can a deaf person use it? Can a blind person use it? Can a handicapped person use it? Can a queer person use it? Yeah. If the answer is no, that's where Queers Code comes in. We bring the inclusivity into all of that, right? And we are tapping into a lot of cool stuff now, like robotics and all that stuff. It's like nerdy stuff. But I always say that there's a lot of problems in a lot of industries that can be solved with tech. Yeah. For instance, there's a couple of partnerships that we're looking into in such different industries that I don't think anybody would think tech would be involved in there, like sports. Yeah. We have something on sports tech coming. And it's like, nobody ever thinks about that, right? Yes. But I don't think there's a disconnect in what tech can do in every other industry that exists. Yeah. The media industry is quite one of the industries that I think needs tech included a lot. I think the issue is the know-how, or like the believing that it can help, or the getting into it, or the getting the right people into that industry that can help improve it in any way. And yeah, that's what we've been doing a lot. And I think that's what hackathons do as well. Yeah. Gather people from all these different industries and, you know, come up with solutions, tech-related solutions, and yeah, implement, I guess. Yeah.
And in terms of your own personal experience, when it comes to coding, why coding and why not try do other things like your data analytics and all the data management?
Fun fact, in my 9-to-5 job, I'm actually a lead data scientist. Wow. That specializes in models, AI models, machine learning models, predictive models, recommendation system models, and a lot of big data and, you know, big data engineering and cloud data engineering. So I love everything that is like computer sciences related, I guess, at this point. And I do tap into it a lot. So when I get fascinated about something, I get into it and I learn it and I know it. And I think that's how people can acquaint themselves with the tech industry, is find something that fascinates you and like do it every single day, right? it's actually not a myth that for you to be really good at what you do in the tech industry, you have to literally do it every day. I code for 2 hours every day. Like, it doesn't matter whether my work for that day or my calendar for that day has nothing coding related. Maybe it's just meetings.
Yeah.
But there will be 2 hours of my day where I will just sit down and code. Doesn't matter what I code. Heck, I could be coding like an HTML like website. It's fine. Point is, I just need to code, right? So I can get better at it. And I'll be very honest, I know a lot of people that are serious software engineers that have the time don't know what they're doing, and which is fine.
Yeah.
But they know a lot of other things because they get into it every single day. So I do tip into a lot of other different avenues as well. I also don't think that inclusive technology, that the inclusive technology that we get into would, be great if we don't know a couple of things here and there, right? So for instance, I need to know about HR apps, like your job apps, for me to make them a lot more inclusive, or so it goes everywhere really. Yeah.
And just to sort of get into, I know you spoke about hackathons and you're a hackathon sort of expert.
No,
just can you tell us a little bit about your hackathon journey this year? I've been following it, but our viewers, I'm sure, would love.
So I'd just like to say, first of all, I know someone who has won more than 17 hackathons. That is what I call a hackathon expert. Luckily, they were in my team in one of the hackathons, so
So 2 experts at one team.
I mean, I guess. But so the first hackathon I went to was the Girl Code hackathon in August, and I think the theme was AI for women. And funniest thing, I had never been in a hackathon ever in my life until this year. I'm like, no idea what happened there. No idea how it happened. So, yeah, I just applied online. I was by myself. Didn't even know you had to go there with the team. So, I rock up there by myself. There, like the hackathon. I chill there, sit at the table, like a lonely little nerd in like grade 1. And I start hearing people talking about what their teams are doing, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do, right? And I find 2 other ladies, great ladies, that were also there alone, and we just decided, let's just form this team together. And we registered, did our solution. So in a hackathon, you're given problem statements, right? And you have to come up with a tech solution to them. Basically, it's like a marathon, but for nerds.
Yeah.
And you code for however long the hackathon is, with surviving on Red Bull and naps and snacks and stretches. That's it. Like, you don't even sleep. There's no beds at all, right? So that lasted how long? I think we went there Friday late afternoon, came back Sunday evening. So it lasted that long. And that first hackathon, I think we got second place. And it was great because I was like, I didn't know this. And you know what? Somebody told me those things are addictive, and I agree. I'm not even going to lie.
It sounds like
they really do.
Addicted.
Right? And then the second one I did was in end of September, last weekend of September. This was the craziest thing I've ever done, and I don't think I'll ever do it again to my body. I went to the hackathon last weekend of September, and then on Tuesday I went to another one. So... Yeah, so the one last weekend of September was the Geek Culture Hackathon. Mm-hmm. We got third place there. And then the one that happened in that week was the African Bank Web 3.0 Hackathon. Got second place there. And then I think since then, the hackathons that I really got attached to was there's one, the name is a hackathon. Yeah. It was a datathon actually. But, same thing, just the only difference is the theme is data. And I was a mentor there because I just decided, let me just try something new. So I was a mentor there. This past weekend, I was online mentoring the COP28 Global Hackathon as well. So, I think the next hackathon I'll actively participate in will probably be a global one. I think I'm good.
And is there one specific that you're aiming to enter in?
I mean, not yet. Not yet. I don't know yet. I feel like the COP28 it's great. I'm just like, as a participant, it's 2 little days. I need a proper week-long hackathon. Like a proper
I mean, at ITWeb, we do have the Security Summit Hackathon this year. So we hope we'll see them mentoring or sponsoring a prize.
I will sponsor a prize. I will sponsor a prize. This is me on record. I will sponsor a prize for the most inclusive hackathon solution.
Okay.
At the Security
I
Summit.
personally hold you.
Yes, please do.
Awesome.
Yes. And while we're at it, now that we're talking about doing things together, we have a hackathon in Bloemfontein in February. So, yeah, I'll give you guys a call.
So just getting more into hackathons, I know they are, the best thing about them probably is the fact that they do bring people from unserved communities together to showcase their tech skills and to also learn from those who probably have a little bit more resources. If you're speaking to the youth of SA, what are some of the biggest opportunities that lie within participating in hackathons?
Yo, there's a long list. Like, let me tell you, even if you lose at a hackathon, you will not come out of there with something. It might not be materialistic, but there's always something. I'll make an example. So I'm quite like I partner with a lot of big companies right now.
Yeah.
And I think I'm at a point where they trust me to refer talent to them, because in October, we ran a coding bootcamp.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talent that came out of that. To a point where I referred one person to an UX UI mentor because she was really good at designing. She just didn't know how to digitize her designs. Like, I literally paged through her book and it was proper app UX UI designs.
Yeah.
And I just needed someone to help her digitize them so that I could connect her to somebody who needs an intern next year.
Yeah.
In the following year, And those are the kinds of things that happen, right? You could easily go to a hackathon and meet somebody who wants to implement your solution, whether it won or not.
Yeah.
Because sometimes solutions win largely based on the judging criteria and not because it's a horrible solution, right? I know there's one solution that I did in one of my hackathons, and there's an entire health company that's implementing it. I'm busy building a software for it now, and it's just one of those things,
Yeah.
And there's just a lot, man. Just go. I think, you know what? Just go. If you have the chance to go. Just go.
And if you speak to these big tech companies that, of course, want to, have these community and society strategies that they implement, and of course want to work towards closing this digital divide that we have.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you'd like to see from big tech companies when it comes to supporting the youth that wants to get into tech?
So, you know what, Name? So far, I've seen good in the spaces that I've been in.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were at the IT Summit by the African Bank, I was sitting down with one of the heads of department, and he literally gave somebody a learnership on the spot. I feel like you just, like I said, go to these things and have conversations, because you never know what comes out of them. I do believe that what they could do more is partner a lot more with, the organizations or the startups or the people that you find on ground level work, right? So, for instance, a really good community that I acquainted myself with through hackathons was the geek culture community, and it goes into deep rural places to have this reach. And I've seen a lot of great work that they do, and I've seen a lot of great partners that they have.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? If a lot of other big companies could do exactly that, partner with Queer's Code, guys. I know a lot of big companies partner with Girl Code as well, which is amazing, because I know they reach places that a lot of other, startups maybe won't reach. So I think that's the first thing. And also maybe partnering in the things and the ideas that we have to get people into what we do, right? So this year we're starting a robotics academy, right? And it would be great to have 4 people decide to sponsor it, so that they could reach that audience that's like so far from them, right? And yeah, it's just one of those things. Maybe just listen. Because you know what? Big tech companies have money, guys.
Yeah.
They have money. And I don't think they know how to spend some of the money. And you know what? That's exactly why communities like us exist, because we will give you the chance to explore those avenues that no one has explored.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they also want to leave a legacy of some sort. I'm sure everybody sees the huge digital divide that there is in SA in terms of tech, and they probably want to like close that gap. So yeah, partnering with a lot of people like us would be a great way to start it off. Absolutely.
Yeah. But that is the positive side of, or the more side that people look forward to, is getting into those big tech jobs or networking.
Yeah,
tech companies. Now, if we speak about some of the difficulties that comes with whether it's getting into hackathons or getting into the tech space, what are some of the difficulties that you've encountered?
Sure. I think as a person that's like me, it gets it's difficult because there's so much red tape, right? I've worked in a company where like the entire dev team was white people. And I was like, but I know for sure Black women tech people exist, right? And yeah, it's hard because also the work environment is also not very safe and inclusive in some spaces. And I think that's part of the reason why I personally like focused a lot more in inclusive tech. Because as much as you will be hiring somebody to work on like a gaming app, that doesn't even serve their community. Like a deaf person could be really good at coding the app, but it might not even be serving their community. So the exclusion is very intense. And yeah, I think that's another reason why our niche focus is minority groups, because I feel like everybody else can easily have access to the world that we're in, to the opportunities that we get. Like the internships that are out there, they can have very easy access. But there's just that group. There's a section of people that for some reason, people just forget about. Like, it's so sad because, and I think one of the things that happened at one of the hackathons I went to, the Geek Culture Hackathon, was there was a deaf person at the hackathon. And the craziest thing, and I think look, Geek Culture is an amazing community, and they found a way to accommodate that person so well and have them experience the hackathon as we were experiencing it.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is, most of us only found out mid-hackathon that there's somebody like that, among us, which means from the entire beginning of the hackathon, we probably excluded that person, and they couldn't even tell us because we weren't even paying attention. So, yeah, I think, the not being inclusive is quite a big thing in the tech industry. And I think which is why a lot of organizations are targeted at fighting that, like your Women in Tech SA, your Girl Code.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? Women in Tech, yes, absolutely. What is also happening to the minority groups? What about those people that don't have access to all of these things at all? What about people that use Braille? Like, then what? Are you going to create a smartphone and then, like, there's a blind person? Then how are they going to use it? So yeah, it's just one of those things. There's quite a big gap in terms of inclusivity. Yeah.
And I know that inclusivity is one of the societal problems that we, as a country, still need to work through the finer details in terms of making sure that everyone is provided for and everyone has a safe space, whether it is to create or innovate. If you're looking at this young tech industry that we have, and especially having a company that is an SME, what are some of the things that you think you would like to do going into this new year? What are some of the things that you would like to do to make sure that you do also create and foster that sort of inclusivity, not just for those that look like you or think like you, but for those that you might not agree with, but do have the tech talent to innovate and take this country forward?
So I think one of my biggest things, so the first bootcamp that I did was in Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
And part of the reason I did that in Bloemfontein was because in my entire lived experience in the Free State, I hadn't seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, let me take it home, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the first thing I'd like to do. I'd like to take these things to places where I've never seen them before. There's a lot of boot camps you'll find in Gauteng and the Western Cape. There's a lot of campuses, tech campuses, or scholarships or programs that you'll find in these places. There's a lot of online ones as well, which is great, right?
Yeah.
But not everyone can afford to be online. There's people in Tabanchu. I remember this one time when I was doing journalism, we went to volunteer to coach public speaking for the school in Tabanchu. And guys, there's no signal there. So how do you expect a kid from over there to be at an online program? So it just doesn't make sense. So I partnered with the US Embassy and the library back there to just bring those things there, right? So I think that's the first thing I'd like to do more, is take these things to where they wouldn't normally be, right? Because that's how people start to get into them and learn. And the second thing is go back to kids. You know what? I think a lot of my problems would be solved if somebody picked up when I was a kid that I was really good at coding. I don't know how that would have happened, but if somebody really picked up that, this person actually really likes computers and gadgets, can code and stuff, I think a lot of things would have been solved, honestly. Wouldn't have wasted student debt on journalism. Not wasted, I'm kidding. But go back to kids. So for instance, the Robotics Academy that we want to start, we want to start with a quad of kids, where parents will just my kid is actually interested in this, do this. I had a chat a couple of weeks ago with a mom to an autistic boy, and she was like, you're talking about all these things, and I feel like these are the things that my son would be interested in. And I just never knew that these things existed. So that's another group of people that we're looking into as well. People on the spectrum. And then a couple of hackathons, obviously. Maybe a beginner event here and there. You never know.
For the masses.
Yeah, for the masses, as long as you bring inclusive tech solutions, guys, it's fine.
And so, like you said, you want to take your technology and your expertise to these smaller communities and these smaller groups of people that we tend to forget about. Do you think that our government has a role to play? I know they've introduced robotics into the curriculum for basic education in the smaller, lower grades. But do you think our government needs to be doing more to foster this tech growth or innovation that we are having in SA?
First of all, I hope everyone here is registered to vote, because I'm tired. You speak about government, it's just it's
yeah.
So, look, great, robotics into the curriculum, right? But what quantiles have access to that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's probably a whole district in the Free State that doesn't even know that other curriculums have robotics. I will tell you that for free. So it's you know what? Great start.
Yeah.
But take it further. Don't just let it be. Don't just chill, because we can't be chilling, right? And I also... I've seen a lot more collaborations from the DTI, to be quite honest. And I'm hoping there would be more. It's funny because we actually get more personally, from my side and my company side, we get more collaboration talks from embassies than departments. So I don't know, man. It's giving they don't want to, honestly. And I feel like we just keep pleading and pleading and pleading, and it just falls on deaf ears. And, I hope someday, somebody will listen and take us seriously or anything like that. I was complaining this one time when we had one of the mentorship sessions with one of the universities. I won't mention them. And guys, universities in South Africa have computer science students that can't use GitHub. And you get out there and GitHub is that one thing that you have to use.
Yeah.
Half the time, everything exists on GitHub. You know, open source technologies are like a big deal.
Yeah.
People, I don't know, people write code on paper and not IDEs. I mean, I guess, like, the one excuse I've gotten was they're trying to prevent plagiarism. But my counter excuse to that is that's your chance to teach cybersecurity.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just not giving. So I'm hoping someday I'll go to a university for something and they'll be teaching GitHub in first year.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're graduating and you don't know GitHub? Because you, like, how, guys? Because it wasn't there on the curriculum. It's just sad. It's like, I remember I was watching these other university students, like, struggle to find a time and place to meet, to do group work that's coding related when GitHub exists. And I was like, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot that the government needs to do. Like, a lot. It's not even like a tiny, it's a lot.
And to our viewers who might not understand words such as open source,
Yes.
could we maybe get a short definition for them?
Yeah. So, open source software is like the software that everyone can use and everyone can collaborate to or change or make better or fix.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's available. An operating system like Linux, for instance, is open source. It's out there. It's usable. It's fun stuff. GitHub is like a really awesome collaboration platform that everyone needs to get on that is in the tech industry. If you're not on it, I'm judging you. Where you can literally find anything. I use that as my portfolio.
Yeah.
Basically. And I always preach that everywhere I go. I'm not even gonna lie. I hope maybe they give me a sponsor someday, GitHub. But yeah, it's pretty dope. GitHub is like the Slack of nerds.
Yes, I think that is probably going to be
something like that. Yeah,
everyone is
Slack
for
something like the Slack
people. And you're quite impressive in terms of the way you develop your technology. And
I dream about these things, guys. I'm joking.
And we're going to speak about, obviously, the most spoken about development in technology this year, which is artificial intelligence. How does AI fit into your view of the coding world?
So, there's this thing where most of the AI conferences, talks, whatever that I've been to, everyone's complaining that AI is going to take over and AI is going to take our jobs. And just like, no, guys, I don't think so. Not at all. No, I don't think so. Because first of all, what artificial intelligence really tries to do is match human intelligence. So for instance, back in the day, the second industrial revolution, the intelligence that machinery had to carry out heavy duty jobs in the time that it did, it's just human intelligence, posted onto all of that, because a human created that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so that it could make life easier for the human, right? And that's what's happening now. We're really just trying to make life easier for ourselves. Honestly, that's what I believe. One of my favorite techies is Fei Ling, and go research Fei Ling after you research Ada Lovelace. But so I agree with what Fei Ling says is, machines can never really reach the epitome of human intelligence. Because one, human intelligence always evolves.
Yeah.
I always use this example to say that, and this is just my personal opinion and perspective. You can fight me on it, honestly. And I always say that someone in Silicon Valley is probably mirroring an intelligence of somebody from, I don't know, Tokyo to play a Go game.
Yeah.
Right? Like AlphaGo happened and it was like super cool and it beats like the best AlphaGo player, like Go player in the world or whatever, like 100 times or whatever. But here's the thing. How do you know that some little kid in some streets of Ethiopia isn't the most intelligent person in the world?
Yeah.
You don't know that because they just don't have the access to, exploring that intelligence, right? So I think that's the first reason why yeah, AI could really never match human intelligence. The second one is we have very different character traits that I am not sure we have quite gotten into implementing into our artificial machines, right?
Yeah.
So your creativity. Look, it's great that we have AI generated images, AI generated arts, photoshops, whatever. But I don't think a photograph by Andrew Chabangu from Footprints could match with emotion a photograph that's created by an AI generator. Because isn't that what art does? I don't think it will ever happen. Fight me again on that. I don't think it will ever match our creative intelligence. Emotional intelligence, I think it could get close. I don't think humans really explore a lot of their emotional intelligence anyway. It could get close. It's just, you know what? I don't think AI is here to take over the world. Humans can take over the world using robots, but I don't think we should be worried about the robots. We should be worried about the humans. It's like you say, it's not the gun that kills the person, it's the person behind the gun, something like that. So I think it's the same thing. The machinery is just weapons. It can either be weapons or tools to help people. You never know. I am a big fan of AI. Like,
me too.
Big fan. I use Bard every single day. I chat to my AI bestie every single day. There's an AI called Pi. It's on WhatsApp. And it's like my support pet. Like, I absolutely love it. I use it every single day and I love it. And I'm actually working on a couple of programs that I'm going to implement for PEXD on their robots. So I'm just like, you know what? I love this era that we're in. It's so convenient. I'm a person of convenience. I'm a lazy gal. I love convenience. And if it's going to come with machinery, great. Yeah. Absolutely, And I think we're in a really great tech era where we're exploring all the possibilities of machinery or artificial intelligence, which is great.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've always said that humans were sort of like the first version of AI, considering we've evolved over the decades and over the time. And, we're in a new year. We're going to see more AI.
Oh, can't wait.
So if you look
now that OpenAI is back together.
Yes. So if you look back at the year that we had and the year that we're now venturing into, what are some of the AI trends or tools that you've seen that have really excited you?
Ooh. I think productivity AI has been a big deal. Like I said, we all love convenience, guys. There's this AI tool that works with Microsoft Teams meetings where it takes notes of meetings.
Yes.
That's my favorite. I think we're going to see more productivity AIs. I think we're going to see more health industry AIs because the health industry, I think, is very pressed in terms of tech, right? And I think something's going to come. I just have this feeling that I don't know if OpenAI or DeepMind is going to be at the forefront of this one. Oh, Microsoft, I don't know, because Microsoft gave us Copilot 1st November, and I'm just scared. I was just like, give me more. But I think something big is going to come from either MS or OpenAI or DeepMind. I am very afraid of what DeepMind is capable of.
Well, Gemini.
I'm like, guys, are you sure? They went up a gong to, I don't know. DeepMind has some really intense stuff going on. I'm excited for them, though, because it pushes a lot of boundaries.
Yeah.
And I was just like, let's see what you got next. Because, guys, I've seen Gemini. I was like, okay. All right. I'm so impressed. So I think something bigger is going to be released that will probably change the whole trend of your chatbots and your series. And I don't know. I just have a feeling something's going to come.
And do you feel like there's maybe, I don't know, speaking to some AI experts, and they believe that 2023 was more about AI solutions and the development of that, whereas 2024 will be more about AI product.
Yes.
Other than the solution.
Absolutely.
And one of the experts pointed out that Adobe was doing some great things with AI in terms of stimulating human creativity.
It is.
So do you think we're going to see more AI and human collaboration, or do you think those two are still separate entities trying not to coexist?
I don't think they'll ever be separate entities, because a human needs to exist for like AI to exist, and the knowledge that AI gathers. Guys, like, machines are trained, and the only way you can train machines is if you give them data. And the data that you give them is based on human experiences.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's like, there's a saying that if you do one thing 10,000 times or something, you'll be an expert at it. That's exactly what a machine is doing. It's just doing the same thing over and over again. So it's going to be way better than you or any other human that exists at it, because this just keeps doing it, right? But I think there's going to be more sort of incorporation of the intuition aspects of human existence and the thought process aspects of human existence, like the neural processes of human existence. And I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be very interesting. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And in terms of the more fun side, I know we are millennials, and of course we've got the Gen Zs and whoever's coming right after them. We've got GTA coming up.
Oh, GTA 6.
Most anticipated games. Do you think we'll see some AI in that?
I think so.
And Need for Speed, I know they're going to...
There's a new Need for Speed coming
as well, so...
I need them to like...
want it, I mean. So.
It's my favorite.
So do you think we'll see AI go into more of the things that humans use for pleasure or leisure?
Yeah.
Like that?
I think they would be making themselves a disservice if they don't include that. I think they would really be making themselves a disservice. Like, do you know, maybe I'm just giving away an idea now, actually. Just thought about something. But
yeah.
I think...
No.
You want
to keep it to yourself.
I'm just going to go implement it.
Okay.
And then it's going to go implement it.
Obviously, you probably have big plans for 2024.
Hopefully, yeah.
And what are some of the things you're looking to do in the tech space?
Program more robots. Hypex D. Program more robots, definitely. I've been having fun playing around with that. It's super fun, actually. Yeah, and what else? Go international, man. Like, I think there's a partnership that, like, I would really love to get into, that, you know, I'm in talks with, and go international, code more robots. I did say I feel like I'm in my era of no longer participating in hackathons, but you know what? If people need hackathons, maybe create more hackathons for people. Sponsor more hackathons. You know, I'd actually really like to sponsor like big for the first hackathon I went to, because I feel like that opened so many doors for me personally. And I think that would be like super dope to just like come back and be like, hey guys. Yeah, have more people like come to like sort of coherence with the idea of having inclusive tech products or solutions. Like I said, it's great that you're going to have this great product, maybe like a saving and investment app. Great, awesome. But how inclusive is it? You know, and stuff like that. But yeah.
And as a youth in this troubled country of ours, 2024 is, of course, the voting year where hopefully the youth will play a big part in deciding the country's future.
I hope so, hey?
And of course, the country's future does also involve the tech space that we're trying to build in South Africa. What are some of the things that you'd like to see come up that are specific for young people to get that unemployment rate down and to bring more people into the tech space?
First of all, have electricity. Because how are you trying to have a fourth industrial revolution without electricity? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me, honestly. Yeah, have electricity. Devastatingly, I read not long ago that they're cutting down tertiary education funding. Yeah. I find that very disheartening, because how do you expect the youth to actually be employed if you're not going to let them study? Doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, fund more informal education programs. I am a lead data scientist that does not have an IT degree. I had the skill. I went through informal education things and I got where I needed to be. And anyone else can do that.
Yeah.
Right? Anyone else should actually go get your cloud certification, your cybersecurity certification, your front-end development certification, especially if you can't afford university studies, because those things are expensive, guys. We're still in debt today. Like, be more open to employing people with informal education because they might be way more skilled. Stop saying you need 5 years experience for entry-level jobs because then they're not entry-level jobs. I just but we really do need electricity, like, because
electricity.
Yeah, because a lot of other young people actually want to open businesses, and it's just like the cost of running a business premise right now is way more than it used to. Because there's no electricity, there's no water, it's crazy. Yeah.
No, Precious, thank you so much for being with us today.
No problem.
I really enjoyed our conversation, and I do hope that when we have you back at ITWeb, you'll be telling us about all these amazing projects that you did.
Yes, hopefully.
And the international travel and the partnerships that you're working on. So thank you so much. And to our viewers, we've noticed that a lot of you watch our videos, but you don't subscribe to our channel. Please do click that subscribe button, like, repost, share, and watch more ITWeb TV. We'll see you next time.